Hello, my friends! I'm here to share with you today this really cool single issue I picked up out of the dollar bin at the comic shop. It's an art portfolio for Joe Jusko. It's issue 2 in a 4-issue miniseries where they take all his artwork he did in the trading cards back in the 90s and blow it up into full-page spreads. Really excited. We got this cool Silver Sable and this Carnage back here to get us stoked with that exciting Ghost Rider cover. The noblest of men, the bravest of women, the staunchest of heroes, the deadliest of villains, the past, the present, the future, all collected now in a magnificent 4-issue portfolio by master artist Joe Jusko, celebrating the legend that is Marvel Comics. I could have just read the back, but I gave a description beforehand. Which do you think did it better, me or the back of the page? Let's get this sucker out of the plastic and look at it. I'm excited. I know you are too. We're not excited about that battle damage, but that just means this comic was loved previously, so we gotta love it just the same. Although, maybe taking a little bit more care. Alright, what a cool Carnage. It's not my favorite Carnage I've ever seen, but I'm digging this. Real dark, heavy blacks. Man, the way the alien symbiote suit works, like, is it oily? Is it liquidy? Like, how does it work, actually? So, real creepy. We got art featuring the premiere of Carnage. This one right here, Doom 2099. I know I have that trading card. I love Doom so much. That was my favorite as a kid. Iron Fist, Thunderstrike, and Typhoid Mary. That's real cool. I remember reading a really awesome, I think it was Spectacular Spider-Man issue as a kid with Typhoid Mary, and it was who wrote that? It'll come to me. Come to me after the video. But this is a really cool Sinister. I like that a lot. And keep in mind, these are supposed to be like that big, so shrinking it down that much, a lot of that negative space would actually really make this pop out more. That is really cool. I like that. Super Sinister. Great. This guy's so good with musculature. Like, look at this Thanos. He's just standing on these planets. Well, he's really floating in space, but I like how it's positioned to where it looks like he's standing on them. Got the Infinity Gems glowing around in the back. That is cool. I like the Sinister more. I like Thanos as a character more, but I think this Sinister is a way cooler piece of art. That's a really great pinup. Ooh. Now this is looking real good. I like both of these. This Daredevil's fantastic, and I love the ambiance of the city here. That looks so good. This Mandarin looks fantastic too. I love the design on the cloak. He looks so sinister. But my problem with the Mandarin is he always looks different every time I see him. There's no consistency. Like this looks like the Mandarin, but it doesn't look like the Mandarin I know because the Mandarin looks different every time I see him. That's the biggest problem I think Iron Man has is his rogues gallery is kind of weak and it's not memorable. No consistency to it, and a good guy's only as good as his bad guy's bad, and to have a good guy, you gotta have a good bad guy. Oh man, both of these are so good. But first, I just have to say that the mask with Captain America wearing there, I do not think it works without pupils. Like, his ears are out, for God's sake. You think he's going to have a mask that covers his eyes? No, he's going to have just regular holes in his mask. We need to see his pupils. But I'm loving the background when that shading with the purple on the flag there and the eagle. So gorgeous. And this Silver Sable's gorgeous too. But one thing I really appreciate about this is she don't just look like she's illustrated like, a lot of comic artists make every female comic book character look like they're in their early 20s supermodel. Like, she looked good and she looked fit, but like, you look at her face, she looks like she's actually seen something. She's a mercenary. She's seen some action. She ain't a supermodel, you know, and she got a little bit of age there. I like that, you know. Yeah, I really dig that. That's a real good one. This Hawkeye is great. I swear to God, I have a trading card of this one. I'm going to go through my binder one of these days and do this, but just calling it now. All right, now I'm second guessing it 50-50, but I'm pretty sure I have that as a trading card. This one's real cool. I'm loving how the background has that energy sparkle, and it's not directly her powers, but it's reminiscent of it. And I'm loving the glow with that and the like sword thing going on there. But her pose seems a little off to me. He's so good with doing muscles and body work that I'm sure this makes sense, but it doesn't to me. With how her body's positioned, feels like she's facing this way, but there's something going on this way at us, and so she's turning her body that way in her head. And her arms are facing out this way, like it's taking on something coming like from this direction here, but her eye line is going all the way over here. So yeah, just the angle of the body versus the line of sight with her direction of eyes is throwing me off. There we go. Yep, I totally have this one as a card, and one of my absolute favorites. Worth the price of admission just to have this as a full page size piece of artwork. That is awesome. I love Doom so much. But don't let that distract us from how cool this lizard is too. Like, that is sick. And I like that it actually looks like a were-lizard. Like it's a man that turned into a lizard, not just a lizard monster. I've seen a lot of people drawing him as a lizard monster these days, and I don't care for that as much. And just the sense of him coming at me and just like, I feel that arm reaching out, and it's gonna rip through that paper and like tear my skin. Be careful. I like that one a lot. What a pair of winners. Ooh, Night Thrasher. When I was like 7 years old, I thought he was the coolest. I hardly read anything with him in it. Not a new Warriors fan or anything, but the design was cool. The name was cool. He was just rocking. I loved it. He had everything going to appeal to a young boy. So good on them. Ultron, I always thought his face was a little too goofy as a kid. As I got older, I grew to appreciate it. But when I was a kid, I wanted my comics to be... I didn't really want my comics serious, but I took my comics seriously. And I just couldn't take that face seriously. Now I know that they don't matter and just enjoy what you enjoy, and they're all goofy, but have fun with it. Speaking of having fun, can I just please be the bookmark that gets placed between these two pages? That is a fine-looking black cat, and that is a good-looking North Star. Man, I tell you what, talk about wasted potential. We need more Alpha Flight. It feels like every 5 years or so I hear talk of a revival or something. There may be a mini-series, but it don't lead to nothing. I've heard Black Cat, she got her own full-on series now, like 40-plus issues. But we can't even get an ongoing with North Star. I haven't read that, by the way. I want to. I'll check it out one of these days. Last time I followed Black Cat was like after the Superior Spider-Man thing happened, and she was a crime boss. I jump in and out of Spider-Man these days because I haven't really loved everything going on with it. And there's so much to read. But man, talking about Spider-Man, this is a cool double-page spread. I can see why they blew this one up to 2 pages and not just one. Also helps keep the full-on proportions there right. But man, that looks so good. I'm loving this right up here where you can see his legs just bent all the way behind him and his foot flipped up there because he's lunging right down at Spider-Man. Yeah, Jusko's so good at just drawing muscles and making bodies do things and making the motions make sense to me, and to where it feels weighty and 3D. Whew. And speaking of this juggernaut, talk about feeling motion. His legs planted. He's ripped this wall apart. His chest is out and stretched. His arms are thrust back. Just like, nothing stops the juggernaut. Man, that is cool. That is so cool. This is not cool. I love me some Logan. Wolverine's awesome. But I am not loving this face. This has got to be during his feral phase. When he gets his adamantium ripped out. But, like, he's got adamantium claws there, so that can't be it. Does he really think Logan just looks that fugly? This totally looks like it's the feral devolved Wolverine, though. That's just too much for me. I'm not loving it just because of that. I don't know. What do you think? That Juggernaut's sick, though. This Electro's tight. I'm liking that. But he's way too buff. That's like Schwarzenegger beefy. Like, he's ripped. And I always thought Electro is kind of a schmuck. That's too much. But it pairs really well with this Red Skull next to it. The background's got a very similar hue and also has lightning, but clearly a different piece of artwork. You know, they got the wall ending right here and it's sort of cutting off. But I can see why they paired these two together. And talk about a good bad guy. Like I was saying, you know, a good guy's only as good as his bad guy's bad. And this guy is bad. I love that. He's frumpy. He's in the jumpsuit. He's got the scary, creepy skull mask. He's smoking, castle, and lightning. That would be a great poster if you wanted to have a poster of the Red Skull. That is awesome. Sauron. So cool. I love dinosaurs before I even read comic books. So when I found out about him in X-Men, I just thought he was the coolest. Like, yeah. So rad. Thunderstrike, not my favorite. I don't want to talk shade, but it's not my favorite era of Thor, and that's not my favorite thing, but it's pretty cool. It has its place. But what is cool is Iceman, one of my favorite X-Men. I loved him as a kid so much. Yeah, so cool. I love that guy. Pun totally intended, but not really, but I'm happy I did it. He's just so rad. I love Bobby. Can't say that I love Speedball, but, you know, he's cool. Like I said, I wasn't a big New Warriors guy. Only time I read New Warriors was when it crossed over with Spider-Man and Scarlet Spider. But this Doc Ock is so good. I'm loving this background, the detail there, the sunset, the Atomic Research Center that he's busting out of. He's a little too beefy. I like my Doc Ock a little bit more frumpy. I don't mind him having some muscle, but make him a little fatter than that. But looking good. I like it. This Iron Fist, really good, but not my favorite. It'd look way better shrunk down to trading card size. I would just be disappointed if this was a full-page comic spread. If I flipped my page and got this, I'd be a little disappointed. Whereas if I flipped the comic page and then I saw this, I would think, oh, I'm hyped. But as a trading card, that's a winner. As a pinup page, not so much. I wouldn't want to pin up either of these. 90s Morbius is not my favorite design, and I mean, that blob just looks intense. But you'd be looking intense too if you just got shot with a cannonball. Oh, that Ghost Rider is just so good. You can totally tell why they chose that as the cover for this issue. This Apocalypse, really good, but much like that Iron Fist, would look way better shrunk down, trading card size. Not really worthy of a full-page pinup or a spread, you know. But really good looking. I dig it. That Typhoid Mary's really cool. I can see why they use that as like a stinger at the end. That's real rad. I'm digging all this stuff going on. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I dig it. I love that hair. That looks so cool. And we got a little bit of an essay here. This is issue 2 in a 4-part series, so this right here is part 2 of a 4-part essay. So we don't really need to read it. You don't need to hear me read it anyhow. But feel free to pause this and read it yourself if you like. But yeah, 1993. Okay. That was a while ago. Well, hey, what was your favorite? I love that Juggernaut. I really liked that Sinister at the front was really cool. Man, that Doc Ock was really rad. Yeah, so many good ones. The Silver Sable was fantastic. Man, if he had pupils, I would love this so much more. But the no pupils just really throw me off. But yeah, so much good stuff. But this is my favorite just because it is my favorite. But this one had so many good winners in it. I'm going to pick up any and all issues like this when I find them, even if I'm not familiar with the artist or really any of the characters that might be within it, just because it's so cool seeing these trading card things. And I'm glad you went along this journey with me. If you did, please just spend a minute to type a thing saying what your favorite piece was in there. I'm curious to see if anyone else liked that. But yeah, internet people, have a good day.